If you look at the full complaint, there are texts between them that go on and on about their connection at 11 o'clock at night. It felt flirty to me.
Hollywood's latest legal battle is speeding toward disaster, with actress Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni at the center of it. The two are locked in a fierce war of words, which is not only escalating tensions, but could also push their trial date sooner.
The judge overseeing a legal battle between actress Blake Lively and director Justin Baldoni has threatened to move up their trial date if the war of words they are conducting via the media doesn't stop.
Rumors are swirling about explicit tapes, secret text messages, and the possible downfall of Blake Lively's marriage to Ryan Reynolds. Could Justin Baldoni be holding footage that threatens to topple one of Hollywood's most beloved couples? And will this scandal sink the It Ends With Us franchise before it even begins? Stay tuned, because if you think you've heard it all, you haven't.
This person is not an honest broker. I believe her less than ever. I actually disbelieve her fully now.
Honestly, there were many instances on set where I just let the women figure it out, and I took a step back and kind of jumped in more as an actor in those scenes than even as a director.
Blake Lively, America's sweetheart, is entangled in a fierce legal battle with Justin Baldoni, the man behind the cinematic adaptation of Colleen Hoover's blockbuster novel. At first glance, it may seem like just another Hollywood feud, but beneath the surface lie whispered allegations of blackmail tapes, late-night flirty messages, and secret alliances with some of the biggest names in showbiz.
If you look at the full complaint, there are texts between them that go on and on about their connection at 11 o'clock at night. It felt flirty to me.
Insiders say the presiding judge has issued a stern ultimatum: stop the public mudslinging or risk having the trial date moved up. And trust us, neither side wants to step into court unprepared. Is this just another Hollywood meltdown under the spotlight, or are we witnessing a carefully orchestrated billion-dollar power grab? Buckle up, because we're about to uncover every jaw-dropping detail. The first sparks of controversy ignited when rumors surfaced that Justin Baldoni possessed tapes so explicit they could shatter Blake Lively's pristine image. Skeptics dismissed them as a publicity stunt until more details started leaking. Now, word on the street is that Justin isn't holding on to these recordings for blackmail, but as a weapon for his own legal defense.
You know, someone asked me recently why this particular case has seized the world. It was just a perfect act of evil that was almost executed in broad daylight. The press was complicit. They almost got it done.
Allegedly, these tapes could validate Justin's side of a complicated relationship with Blake, a version that directly contradicts her official narrative. At first, fans dismissed the claims as yet another Hollywood publicity stunt. But as more evidence trickled online, from cryptic text messages to voice memos that felt almost too personal, skepticism turned into shock. Now, Hollywood insiders suspect that Blake and Justin have been locked in a silent feud for years. On one side, her unstoppable celebrity influence. On the other, his arsenal of behind-the-scenes receipts. With massive reputations and potential millions at stake, neither side seems ready to blink.
And Blake Lively's PR team wants us to know that everything that's happening right now is hurting Blake's feelings. Blake Lively sources say Justin Baldoni lawsuit is causing her and Ryan Reynolds severe anguish. In that article, we're told that Blake Lively is quote-unquote emotionally zapped.
Things escalated fast, splashing across tabloids, social media feeds, and talk shows. Paparazzi pounced on every opportunity to catch Blake or Justin mid-sentence, both sides carefully tiptoeing around the next explosive headline. Eventually, the judge had enough, ordering them, in no uncertain terms, to stop the public mudslinging or face an accelerated trial schedule. And why does that matter? Because being forced into court sooner means less time to bury inconvenient details and even less time to spin new narratives. The public remains divided on who's fueling the frenzy. Is Blake strategically leaking carefully selected details to frame Justin as a predatory figure? Or is Justin orchestrating these leaks to paint Blake as a cunning manipulator? With the clock ticking, neither side has the luxury of playing it safe. Every leaked snippet, every cryptic post, only dials up the tension as the trial, and whatever bombshells it holds, draws closer. Then, the conversation took an even sharper turn, toward the sizzling late-night texts allegedly exchanged between Blake and Justin.
If you look at the full complaint, there are texts between them like that go on and on about their connection and how he really likes her. He loves this version of her, but he loves the other version of her too. At 11 o'clock at night, and I'm telling you, it's felt flirty to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't generally text with other men, even men I work with at 11 o'clock at night, unless there's breaking news. It's my executive producer, and I'm like, I need to get on a plane.
Right.
And it's not like how I love this version of you.
Fans can't stop dissecting the messages. Texts where Justin compliments Blake's different sides close to midnight, or where she gushes about his creative spark at odd hours. Naturally, this raises a burning question. Where does Ryan Reynolds fit into all of this? Some sources claim Ryan's frustration boiled over when he caught wind of just how friendly these messages sounded. Others insist he went so far as to try buying out Justin's stake in the It Ends With Us sequel, only to be flatly rejected. Did that refusal spark an all-out media war? If you connect the dots, a compelling theory emerges. When money can't solve a problem, maybe a well-timed scandal can. Could this be the true reason behind the high-voltage accusations and whispers of explicit tapes? Any hint of friction within? Blake and Ryan's high-profile marriage is guaranteed to dominate headlines, only adding fuel to an already blazing fire of speculation. Another major piece of the puzzle? Insiders say Blake was laser-focused on calling the shots on set. Allegedly, she wanted control over everything, from final edits to marketing rollouts and promotional tours, reportedly even rewriting entire scenes on the fly. Studio insiders whisper that Blake would casually name-drop her A-list friends, like Taylor Swift, as a subtle reminder of her immense social media influence. Meanwhile, Justin found himself caught in a power struggle with a lead actress who, rumor has it, wanted partial directorial credit. Did that ego clash lead to a full-blown meltdown, one that drove Justin to secretly record private interactions for self-protection? The lines between artistic vision and sabotage began to blur. While no one denies Blake's A-list clout, this level of control is a far cry from the effortlessly charming, fashion-forward persona fans adore. So, what's the real story? Is this the true Blake Lively? Or is Justin manipulating the narrative to paint her as a Hollywood schemer and deflect blame from himself?
Well, now they've produced the text messages, Baldoni and team, in this latest lawsuit against her, showing Justin being like, don't worry about any of that. We can shoot any scenes that require, exposure toward the end of the movie when, you feel better about things. This is the last thing you should have to worry about. I got you, right?
In the midst of this feud, author Colleen Hoover's loyalty seemed to shift overnight. Once a vocal supporter of Justin Baldoni's directorial vision, she suddenly pivoted to praising Blake's rights and influence. The timing raised eyebrows, with speculation quickly pointing to one thing: money, specifically the highly anticipated sequel It Starts With Us. If Justin is taken down by scandal, the rights to the franchise could revert to Sony, or even back to Colleen herself, opening the door for Blake to step in as the creative lead. Suddenly, Colleen's change of heart didn't seem so random. Was she safeguarding future profits and ensuring a more stable production with Blake's superstar backing? Or did she genuinely believe Justin was at fault and switch sides for morale reasons? Hollywood has a long history of alliances shifting when fortunes are at stake, so maybe this was just another calculated move in the studio power game. Either way, Colleen's endorsement of Blake carried significant weight, further isolating Justin and deepening the mystery of what really happened. But perhaps the most explosive claim came from Blake herself, alleging that Justin had body-shamed her after her pregnancy. Fans were outraged, labeling him everything from insensitive to outright abusive. However, newly leaked texts tell a very different story. According to these messages, Justin's comments about Blake's weight weren't meant to shame her, but were instead related to a physically demanding lift scene. one that could aggravate his chronic back condition if not carefully planned. The texts also reveal that he had offered to delay filming if she needed more recovery time. And that so-called weight loss specialist? He was actually a gut health professional recommended after Blake repeatedly complained of low energy. The revelation threw yet another wrench into the swirling controversy. Was Justin truly guilty of body shaming, or was this another carefully spun narrative? With every new leak, the truth seemed harder to pin down.
And he asked how much Blake weighs. And that it was like, how dare he, right? How dare? Turns out Justin Baldoni, this has been documented, has serious disc issues and was actually in the hospital for like 2 months after this film wrapped because of his disc issues, and was worried because he had to pick her up in a scene.
Yet the damage was done. Fans, the media, and reportedly even Ryan Reynolds were incensed, with insiders alleging heated confrontations on set. Whether it was an innocent misunderstanding or a calculated move to assassinate Justin's character, the body-shaming narrative quickly became a weapon against him, overshadowing earlier disputes over script rewrites and directorial credit. As if the story needed more twists, behind-the-scenes recordings began surfacing. These clips supposedly show Blake praising Justin's directorial style, joking about romantic scenes, and even suggesting more intimate gestures for added realism. In one particularly damning clip, she appears to guide him on making their on-screen chemistry sizzle. These friendly exchanges directly contradict her claims that Justin imposed uncomfortable intimacy. Now, fans are divided. Is this footage cherry-picked and taken out of context, or does it blow a massive hole in Blake's harassment? Allegations? Some can't help but draw comparisons to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard fiasco, where both sides weaponized selective recordings to sway public opinion. Could this be history repeating itself? Another high-stakes battle where the court of public opinion deals as much damage as any official verdict? Or is Justin the true victim of a carefully orchestrated takedown, masterminded by Blake's high-powered PR machine? The more we learn, the harder it becomes to tell who's really telling the truth.
I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have, because the truth should be out there. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
None of this drama can be fully understood without following the money. It Ends With Us was a massive deal, and its sequel, It Starts With Us, promises even bigger box office returns. Right now, Justin Baldoni holds key rights to the franchise. But if he's found guilty of wrongdoing, or if a morality clause is triggered, he could lose everything. And guess who's perfectly positioned to take over? Blake Lively reports suggest Ryan Reynolds attempted to buy Justin out for a significant sum, but Justin refused, clinging tightly to his ownership. Not long after, allegations of harassment, body shaming, and controlling behavior exploded in the media. If you're connecting the dots, it's hard to ignore the possibility that this lawsuit might be a calculated chess move, one designed to push Justin out of the sequel.
Good luck to Blake Lively in getting hired again.